This is a show for grown-ups.
And they say bad words.
And they say bad words.
Say final warning.
Final warning.
Hello and welcome to the Pod of Blunders. My name is Nate Magnuski, and with me today is Richard Sullivan.
Hey guys.
Ryan Bolger.
Yo.
And Jake, whose last name I didn't ask how to pronounce.
Duerksen.
Hey, I had it right before. So today, Jake is our special guest. He's also our special DM guest. And Jake, what are you here to have us play?
I'm here to run you all through a little one-shot adventure in ancient Ireland with a homebrew setting that I've made myself called Heroes of Tara. It is a OGL adaptation that will be starting off on Kickstarter. Let's see, as soon as next week, July 1st.
Awesome. I know by the time this is coming out, we'll have already had our interview, so I'll know a lot more about it after we play this game that's coming out, after I interview you and put the interview before this game comes out. So I hope that was clear to everybody. We are playing this awesome 5th edition game. I cannot wait to get into this. So how do you want us to start, Jake?
What we have here is a mythologized setting, a mythologized version of prehistoric Ireland called Ériu. Sometime in the 1st century BC, the Roman Empire is at its height, having now subjugated the Britons of neighboring Alba. And you find yourselves as eponymous Heroes of Tara. Epic mythical heroes cut from the very tradition of names you might know, such as Cuchulainn and Finn McCool. And you adventure all throughout prehistoric Iron Age Ireland, partaking in all of the archetypal sort of deeds and feats that one would find if they look through the mythology. This is hardly a museum piece of a game, but that is its entire purpose, is to kind of give that authentic immersion into this setting. I would say the primary thing is don't fool yourself into thinking this is any kind of historically accurate or low magic setting. This is as high magic as they come. Things are bright and colorful and outrageous and weird, despite the fact that the characters all live in mud-thatched reed huts. Starting off, we find ourselves following your 3 characters. Alatha Nifond, played by Nate, Sheila Nick Leary, played by Richard, and Declan Wheelana, played by Ryan. You're somewhere in the middling kingdom of Meath, not far off from the shore. The entire kingdom, not just the kingdom, the entire island is a fractious patchwork of chiefdoms and clans that constantly feud and raid against one another, but all ultimately answer to the authority of the High King. You have been called to the hall of one of these chieftains as you pass through their land. Your names and reputations having preceded you, they have asked for a little bit of a favor for you, and they've sent you downriver to attend to a strange errand. You've been told that on the shores of this clan's territory, on the eastern side of the island, not far from where we would know Dublin to be today, strange ships with strange sails have put into the bay and have plowed up upon the sand of the shore. Those who have disembarked onto the beach are of a like that have never been seen in this island before. They all march in unison with metal armor, and witnesses say that they erected a camp of unerring organization within the space of merely 2 days. They have not yet declared their purpose to any of the locals, and the chieftain is incredibly anxious and wishing to know what the situation is. So he has sent you, trusting you to represent his word and his people, for you are trustworthy heroes by your reputation at this point, to investigate, see who these people are, what they want, and if they come is suspected with violent intentions, see them off by any means necessary. And you have traveled downriver and now come upon a crest of a hill overlooking the seashore. On the seaward plain below you, along the stretch of the river that now empties out into the sea, you see what we as players would fairly likely recognize, if we've ever seen a history documentary, as a fort of the Roman legion. Everything being perfect and square and in its proper order, tents and flags of a deep red hue military bugles and the stamping of feet resounding up to your ears. You are standing about a half-mile distant, and unless you have taken great care to approach stealthily, which it's your prerogative to say if you have, you may be noticed by lookouts from this distance.
Declan, do you want to sneak up?
Oh, hell yeah.
'Cause I'm not stealthy. I don't know if our barbarian friend is either.
Oh, I doubt it, you lug.
Well, no, stealth I'm +5.
Oh,
So, maybe don't, make judgments about people's appearances, maybe.
wow. That's on me. That's a lesson for all of us, I guess. I'll stay
And,
back here.
How many do we have going?
Declan, what's your stealth?
+3.
Maybe we keep Alatha back, and then we'll call if shit goes tits up.
It is broad daylight, so if you would like to give me a perception check to kind of survey the surrounding landscape and try to find a good route of approach that would cover your profile.
So 9 for me.
You are playing the Warrior of the Red Branch, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, true to type, you just kind of look out over this broad plain, and your instincts tell you that there's no better approach but the direct one. So, it may...
Of course.
may not be you that they turn to for the advice of stealth.
So for my perception, it is 17 + 3, 20.
All right. So you have followed a river downstream to where you are now, and that river is still flowing alongside you. And as it flows away, you see it pass by the Roman fort, not too distant. Right outside the Roman fort, there's quite a lot of activity. Soldiers just going out and bathing themselves, getting water, camp followers doing laundry and dishes and such. Along the riverbed is a sunken bank filled with thickets, undergrowth, all the perfect sort of cover that would give you the stealthy approach you need to get right up close to those walls.
All right. I think that's a better approach than our warrior friends straight across.
Just for reference here, Sheila and Declan are both rather martial characters, and obviously we are now exploring Declan's propensity for stealth and his ability for such. But I would just like to point out to Alatha, as a Brehon, just to give you a little context on what that means. A Brehon is like a judge, a keeper of the law. That's kind of why they are very much like a cleric functionally in terms of class mechanics. If you were to attempt a roleplay approach, you would kind of be bearing the dignity of your culture, so to speak. You would have that qualification to go and speak as a diplomat if you chose to take that approach, just letting you know that is an option. So anyways, if Declan, if you're taking the approach and if anyone is accompanying you, feel free to give me a stealth check.
Yeah, I think I'll go for it. Anybody joining me?
I have to go with you now. Yeah, I know that now. So
I'll join you in the bushes.
before I go anywhere, I want to cast guidance on myself as one of my cantrips. Because I'll need all the help I can get. With my +0, I have a dirty 20.
All right.
So fucking sneaky.
All right. And anybody with 15 and above, 10 and above?
I was a 16.
All right.
21.
Nice.
All right.
21.
So, yeah, you all managed
No big
to...
deal.
and Declan, I believe your subclass is the Huntsmaster, so we should also give fair mention that you are accompanied by a faithful wolfhound.
Yep, I have a buddy. Do I have to roll stealth for my buddy, or are they...
Your dog does have to roll their own stealth. They are they are functionally entirely their own creature. Like in combat, they act with their own actions on your initiative, everything like that.
So that's a 12, and I think their stealth is +1, so 13.
All right.
Bad dog.
The four of you all slip down into the creek bed behind the hill from which you were observing the fort. And from there, you advance along the flowing water, your feet barely making a sound upon the shale and stones of the riverbed. And before too long, coming around a bend, you hear the voices of the people of the camp down at the water. You've eventually managed to situate yourself in a good vantage point, peering out from the thicket. And you see people just kind of coming to and fro from their business from the open gates of the fort down to the water. You can't really make out much of what it's saying. The language that they speak is somewhat unfamiliar to you. However, Alatha, as a Feely, You are of the learned caste of this society, and so you may have had occasion to pick up a little bit of Latin. That is what we know they're speaking. So if you would care to just give me a straight intelligence roll, we can see what you might be able to discern.
18.
All right. So yeah, you managed to make out a few words. The two phrases that you hear repeated most often is what you seem to be make out as a name, Meritus Decanus, and then mentions of an eagle over and over again. Occasionally, they spit out the word slave rather contemptuously. As for the fort itself, now that you have a closer vantage on it, can mention that just in terms of like tactical layout, it has watchtowers at every one of the four corners. It has 4 gates, one on each side, and further watchtowers flanking those gates. There seems to be a ring of regularly placed tents all around within, all surrounding a single larger command tent. The fort itself is about 100 by 100 across both ways.
I want to try something real quick.
Okay.
From my hidden spot, I want to cast Minor Illusion in the shape of an eagle. Just kind of have it fly over them and see what they do.
So you give shape to your illusory eagle, and I forget the exact parameters of the spell, but I think you could also add a little auditory effect. So the eagle lets forth with a dramatic shriek as it bursts forth from the bushes and takes off overhead, disappearing into the treetops on the other side of the creek. And everybody just stops dead in their tracks, and they just stare up at it all shocked. And then you hear a lot of people starting to speak together very excitedly. And now the new word that you hear over and over again is, oh man, that's an omen. That's got to be an omen. That's an omen, no doubt. We're definitely on the right track. The reason we are here is being vindicated. Meridus,
good job.
Centurion Meridus was right. He was right to lead us here. Meridus Decanus was right. And so now they're all very excited, and now you have actually a few people running back up to the fort, kind of shouting this news up to the watchmen on the gate in the towers of the fort. An omen from the gods.
I think this
You
is a
could
good
have
time
picked something to scare them. It had to be an eagle.
It's a minor illusion.
Why not a minor floating head?
They might be here in peace. We don't know. And as a lawgiver and a person who's representing us in our culture, I think we should try to start off on the best foot possible.
Before even the first messenger reaches the gates of the fort, not too far off, no more than like 50 to 70 feet away from the creek side, a rather important seeming officer steps out from the gate. To your eyes, you can tell he's important because of the red crest that raised up on the helmet that he's holding in the crook of his arm. And he is attended to by at least several other followers of various rank. He strides forth. He seems to be asking what this business is, and he just stands there stoically with this stony look on his face. The news is excitedly shared with him.
Declan, I value your opinion on this more than our friend Sheila. Do you think we should present ourselves because I think it'll look more suspicious that we're skulking around the fort than if we just walked up to the front door, like our friend Sheila said, actually.
There's a lot of them, though. This doesn't look great.
That's true.
Why don't we send you?
Okay.
Just one? I think that could be bad.
No, we'll send you the diplomat, and if things go wrong, we'll be on the outside, and we can run back and let them know that you've been captured.
I love that you get into the spirit, but I just don't think I want to be captured. I think they're coming in peace. I think you two are just cowards, and I'm happy to do this.
If you're willing to chance it.
The gods are with me. The gods of our people are with me always, and I carry with us the weight of our culture. So they'll respect me as a leader.
When they don't, my hound will eat you.
Sounds good. Okay, I step out of the bushes.
You all three, with Hound alongside, emerge from the bushes, and
oh no, I was hanging back.
Oh,
I meant what I said.
Jeez.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't quite catch that. My bad.
No, I'm hanging back. Let these guys go. They're gooder talkers than me are.
I feel that. So the two of you emerge from the bushes, Hound alongside, all the same, and all eyes suddenly turn around on you. You can feel most of all the stony gaze of this commander just locked onto you here. Nobody says a word for but a moment. Now would be your chance to fill the silence if you feel like it. You've already picked up a little bit of Latin, so you might be able to get something out. We've established that you have some familiarity.
I just walk up with my hands splayed, like open. I say, Pax, peace. I'm not here to fight.
You are immediately approached by 2 armored legionaries who, are about to lay hands on you when the commander, just kind of says something, puts his hand up, and the scribe that is at his side steps forward, and he says in perfect Gaelic, "Are you from the local clan?"
We're travelers, but we represent the local clan, yes.
All the same, maybe you'll be able to help us. We are the first cohort of the 13th Legion, under the command of Meridus Decanus, sent here on a particular errand of great importance. We are here to retrieve the Legion's eagle. The eagle is the sacred stand of our Legion. It is a golden emblem, a standard, held by the officers of the first cohort. An escaped slave who is native to this land by the name of Luisac. He escaped with the eagle and somehow bought portage across the sea back to this land. We pursued him this far, and we are now here to retrieve him with the eagle. Do you know of this man, Luisac?
I know of no slaves by that name.
The commander, he speaks up, asks it, inquires with his scribe, the typical, hey, what are you saying? What's been exchanged? The scribe explains to him. And from what you could pick up, it seems like he's just, fairly directly relating the conversation. The commander says a few words. The scribe relates back to you. The commander wishes to employ your services to help us find this fugitive. The quicker we all find him, the faster the 13th Legion can leave your lands.
I like the sounds of that.
Yeah, we can all agree to that being
assist.
good. I kind of nod. I say, I think we can come to terms on that. What will you pay us for this service?
If you bring us the eagle, we will leave your lands in peace. Otherwise, we will be forced to start burning down this land, village by village, until we find the eagle. Those are our terms. Find it within 2 days, and the commander is prepared to reward you by rates that we believe are rich in these lands.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll look for your eagle. If we find it, you bring it back. If you pay us enough, you get to keep it.
Fair terms to start. We'll see if we can't negotiate later.
Excellent. Also, I have a friend in the bushes if you want to say hi.
Hello.
Just kind of leans over and looks over. And just
arm pops out and is like, hi.
He just kind of gives this, terse little look that just says, without really saying it, charming. He then just turns to you and says, I suppose that the best way to start would be to inquire with the locals. Our scouts had just reported that there are some villages not too far off from here. It had best be that you start with them. If we are forced to do our own inquiries, we might not be so familiar.
Sounds great. You stay tight in your little fort here, and we'll go do the hard work.
Oh, the hard work hasn't even begun. I can assure you of that. You do your job, and nobody will have to do any hard work.
Just out of curiosity, is it important that you get this so-called slave back?
It is unimportant if he is alive or dead. Though if he is dead, we would appreciate a token, such as perhaps his head.
We'll do what we can.
The commander then just dismisses you with some wave of the hand. The scribe turns away, and everybody just kind of gets back to business. The rank and file folks and the camp followers who had been doing their laundry just kind of return to it. They all just give you a look. Some of them actually give you encouraging slaps on the shoulder, like, hey, good luck. Thanks for helping us out here. You're getting a little bit more of a friendly reception, it seems, from the typical folks than from the officer coterie.
And I say, oh, and one more thing. Eagle magic! And I make another eagle pop out and fly around.
They love that, actually. They go wild. They think it's a great big omen. To be fair, actually, I should have played that guy as being a little less of a jerk because of that omen. I had forgotten about that omen, but that definitely should have upped his disposition.
I think that's the reason you're not dead.
Yeah,
yeah, really.
Yeah, Romans were not known for their personable diplomacy.
Oh, what showers?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Coming to the World Wide Web, it's the internet's premier podcast that gives you the 411 on the 1990s favorite television teens with Tood.
The Ninja Turtles?
As if...
The Power Rangers?
Talk to the hand!
My bad. You must mean the...
No duh. They're all that in a bag of chips.
That's PHAT fat. How do I scope that?
Just head on over to our Patreon, and starting at $1, you'll get 2 gnarly episodes of Jumping the Street Sharks a month, plus a bunch of other tubular shiznit.
Actually, that sounds lame. I think I'll keep my cheddar to myself. Not!
So if you want to support us, head to the Patreon link in the show notes. We appreciate you, and can't wait to share more jawsome content with you soon.
So we can depart from the fort in any way that you like. As was remarked by the scribe, there are various villages, homesteads, farms, and hamlets in the area. You can actually see for yourself by these little trails of cookfire smoke that rise up into the air from the horizon. The closest one is probably within a couple of miles.
Lead the way, Declan.
Did we fully leave the camp yet? I should have asked if they had anything that belonged to said slave. And see if my hound could maybe sniff it out.
Oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, you ask, and they don't have anything such as that, unfortunately.
Right. Well, of course not. Why make things... No. I guess we'll go to the nearest town or little settlement to ask some questions, see if they saw anybody pass by.
The closest village, I said, is, a couple of miles distant. Let's say 3 miles walk from the fort. And on your way there, you have to cut through some dense forest. The entire landscape is just this patchwork of, some open, cleared land here and there, interspersed with healthy patches of forest all throughout. As you go through one of these patches of forest, terrible thrashing and screaming comes up from the underbrush and seems to be coming directly towards you.
Go, Sheila, go.
I guess I'll throw my spear into the bush.
All right, let's see. Give me an attack throw with disadvantage for throwing blind into the bush.
Okay. 15.
All right, your spear sails into the underbrush, and you hear it connect with something, and you hear just this inhuman scream go out of just wrath and just absolute goated rage. And now comes bursting out of the underbrush an enormous wild boar. From its immediate spear thrust, now some blood frothing out on its tusk jaws, coming straight for you.
All right, let's see how I damage this fella. So 5.
5, awesome. Everybody give me initiative.
Well, now you've done it.
Hey, if this works out, we have something to eat tonight.
5 for initiative for me.
11 for me.
18.
Hey, there you go.
Oh my goodness, just nat 20 on that boar's initiative. So he is just going to keep running straight for one of you. Roll a d4 here to see which one he goes for. Roll on a 4. All right, he is going straight for Alatha. And as he going for you, just full disclosure to show off this stat block a little bit, and also because we're still kind of at the play testing stage, I like to play with a bit of an open hand. What he is doing now is using a specially designed feature that I've given to the wild boars of this setting, which are, by the way, CR3, a bit more beefy than you might encounter with a typical beast. But he is coming at you now, Alatha, with a feature called a Frenzy Charge, where if he moves at least 30 feet within his turn, his first successful tusk attack will immediately be a critical hit. Let's see if he lands. And that is going to be a 14 to hit.
Miss.
As multi-attack, so he's going to come at you with one more, and that is going to be a 12, so that's a miss. He comes in sailing for you, but you just deftly sidestep both times. And he is now going to come wheeling about, but it's the end of his turn, and we have Declan. Declan, we can say that the boar is within 10 feet of you and your hound.
I was going to cast Animal Friendship, but I think that probably wouldn't work.
that ship has sailed.
Calm down, guy. We just want to be buddies.
Why didn't you do that first before I launched a spear into the bush?
I got a 5 initiative. And I didn't know what it was.
So I share initiative with my hound. Do I have an attack and then the hound, or is it one or the other?
No, you get your own full action economy, as does the hound. The hound is basically its own entirely separate creature that just happens to go on your initiative.
That's awesome.
What was the distance again? I'm sorry. Did you say
10 feet?
10 feet. All right, then I'm going to close that gap with my 30 feet of movement so I can move to 10 and take a swing with my short sword. Oh, I should be smart about this, huh? I should do a hunter's mark with a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I saw this correctly, I have
You have sneak attack.
yeah, I was gonna say if that's close enough, I should have sneak attack too.
Yes,
Oh
I believe
boy,
so.
all the things I have to roll here. So I gotta roll a hit first. So I'll go for the attack here with my short sword. Oh, that's not looking good. Yep.
So Declan missed that first shot, and I believe at level 3 you're still running with just one attack. Will that be your turn? Is your dog doing anything?
Yeah, I think my hound's gonna attack too, moving close and go for the attack. Let's roll something higher than a 5, please. Nope, another 5. Awesome. Yep. I don't think no.
Throw that dice away.
Yep. Well, it's Google Dice. I don't know where that's gonna go.
Throw the
Oh
computer
boy.
in the garbage.
All right. So yeah, this board just has really knocked you off balance. It's quite startling to have something like this just come rocketing out of the underbrush at you. It's totally understandable. So now we have Sheila. Sheila, you are on the other side, likewise 10 feet away from the fray that is now undergoing.
Can I leap toward the boar, grab my spear, and go for another shot?
Absolutely. Grabbing that spear should be no problem. It's just kind of protruding out of it rather obviously right now. So,
Okay, so you don't want a dexterity or anything for that?
No, I think it'll be a standard action to get it back in your hand, I believe is how I would play that.
Okay, because what I want to do is I want to jump on the boar, pull the spear, and jab him with it.
Oh, okay, so that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
All right, we can make that happen. So yeah, give me an athletics check to jump on the boar first.
Okay.
Yeah, just give me a roll with that +1.
6 + 1, so not very good at all.
You do attempt to jump up onto the boar. You accidentally fall and stumble and now fall prone next to the boar. However, you now do manage to at least get your hands grasped around the spear. You can try to wrench that out if you would like, and I'll give you another athletics check to at least manage that.
Right? 19 plus my 1 athletic, so a 20.
All right, so you managed to get your spear out, pulled out from it. And when I say you're laying prone next to the boar, that does mean a few things. Where if this thing does turn around to attack you, it will have advantage on that attempt. So it's in your best interest to try to get back up on your feet as quickly as possible. And I believe all that takes is movement action. Having been only within 10 feet, you still have enough for that. So you could just get up on your feet. Honestly, being prone is always a lot less dramatic in this rule set than you'd like it to be, given how easy it is to just get back up. So there you are.
I don't want to get back up. Can I just, if I have the spear in hand and I'm that close to it, can I just go for like a direct hit in the throat?
Sure, yeah, okay. Give me an attack roll.
So 14.
Yep, that hits.
All right, and a d6 for damage. 1 plus what? So only a 2.
Get a glancing blow on this thing. Another open hand. A second feature that this boar has is Goaded Rage. Each time that the boar takes damage from an attack, its own attack damage modifier is increased by a +1 to a maximum of +10. This bonus stacks cumulatively and is lost at the end of the combat encounter. So it's basically like the more you poke and prod this guy, the angrier he gets. So it's prudent to try to take them out as quickly as possible, so to speak, before they really get going.
So this should be an interview question, but I got to know. The bestiary that you're pulling from for this, is it in the core book, or is there like a separate bestiary that you're coming out with?
I am providing a few kind of basic or essential stat blocks in their own appendix towards the back of the book. Like wolfhounds, chariots, that a character might need for their class features. But then also some, kind of bare essentials, maybe low CR, a few higher CR opponents and monsters. But that's just to get started. I actually do want to work up to a full monster manual eventually. Still in the process of writing all of them, but we actually have definitely above 200 stat blocks all planned out and kind of confirmed in concept at least.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So is that it for your turn, Sheila?
Unfortunately, that's all I can do, right?
I believe so. You do have enough movement to try to get up on your feet if you would like.
Oh, yeah. I would like to do that, please, sir.
All right. And that's easily as said as done. So you are now up on your feet right and next to this boar. Basically,
can I kip up like really cool like?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Do a big leg swing and just get yourself up in the blink of an eye. You guys now have this boar flanked, I believe, on 3 sides. Maybe 4 if the hound is coming in from behind here. It might seem like a pretty advantageous situation. We are coming to Alatha. Alatha, this boar just tried to charge at you, missed, and is still just right up on you. And it will be probably trying to go for you or somebody within arm's reach by its next turn.
I wanted to cast a spell, but I'm in melee range. That's not going to go well for me. So I'm going to smack it with my club. Natural 20.
All right.
Boom. 4, 7. So 10 damage.
All right. Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, swing it right down on top of its head, trying to really knock its senses out of it so it gets confused.
Now back up to the boar's turn. The boar is, fairly stunned by the blow to the head, but these things, they got a skull like a cinder block. So it just kind of shakes it off with some frustrated grunts, and it renews its attack on you with a vigor. Now coming at, let's see, actually I believe it was Alatha who just did the most damage to it with that crit for 10 right there. So going off of basic animal instinct, it will be going after the one that still goads it the most. No longer taking advantage of that charge that it started off the encounter with, because it's now in melee range. Currently running with a +3 to its damage modifier, as by my count it's taken 3 attacks so far. All right, and to hit you, Alatha, it's going to be coming at you with a dirty 20.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
All right. It does 5 slashing damage to you as it just rakes one of its tusks along your leg.
Ah, my blood.
Tries for a second attack on you there, but that's just a 13. I bet that misses.
It does.
Alrighty. And now this pig is actually going to retreat by 15 feet to try to just get a little breathing room from you. But it is risking attacks of opportunity from all of you to do so.
All right, then I'm going to stab my spear right in its ass. Golly.
It's an 11 from me and a 12 from the hound. Roll like a champ.
Yeah, I'm afraid neither of those hit. Yeah.
You're trash, kid. I rolled a 13, so
I rolled an 18 plus my 3 attack bonus,
So Sheila does land a hit.
right in the ass.
roll your damage there, Sheila.
There's 4.
Nice.
With that parting blow, the boar actually now kind of reconsiders what it might have just been doing. It seems to have been withdrawing to try to come back in for another charge, but it seems to now reconsider things. It's actually rather peculiar. You've all seen enraged boars before. You've been on your fair share of boar hunts in your heroic lives and such. This is a common pastime, but this one shows some peculiar behavior by seeming to pause and almost like kind of appraise the situation. It seems to be thinking things over and weighing its chances the way that a enraged wild pig typically doesn't. There's a little intelligence in its eye. After this moment, it then turns away and actually continues in its departure, disappearing back into the underbrush. If you let it go, you will be ending the combat encounter, or would you like to try to pursue it? Declan, your hound is certainly baying after it and will be chasing if you do not call to heel.
I think we still go after it. It's weird for a wild boar to just change its mind.
I say we've got 2 days to get this eagle back, otherwise our village will be burned down. So
Well,
why
this isn't
waste
going to
time on
take
the
2
boar?
days to kill the boar. Oh, I'm attacking the damn boar. I'm going after and attacking the damn boar.
The way you roll, it might take 2 days.
Shut up, you.
All right, so are we all pursuing?
I'm gonna watch his ass try to hit it and see what happens.
The huntsmaster takes off on the hunt. Sheila, are you joining in with the chase?
I don't think it's a great idea, but
You want to hit things? Come on.
I'm outvoted here. I want to go to the village, man. Why don't you just send your dog after it, and if it bleeds out, you can take it back to us.
Are both of your speeds 30 feet?
Yes. I know mine is. My hound is 50.
And my speed is 30.
Your hound quickly outstretches your speed and disappears into the underbrush after the boar. You can hear both of them just crashing away deeper into the forest for quite some time, squeals of the boar, the howls and baying of your dog just echoing off further and further into the woods as you carry on chasing after the trail. And eventually, you no longer hear even the baying of your hound, though it's peculiar. It's actually not quite as gradual as your hound having disappeared off into the distance. Your hound's baying actually cuts off quite suddenly.
Well, this isn't very good now, is it?
Told you, we got a never-ending story situation here.
Never-ending story situation?
I guess I would pursue just a little further just to see if my hound is now dead for some reason. Follow the tracks.
Before too long, you are actually met with your hound coming back the other way with its tail tucked between its legs and its head held low. It seems pretty evident that at just some point along the way, it just kind of was stopped cold in its tracks by something, maybe something it smelled, and it just told it just, nah, nope.
Well, this is bizarre. I've never seen my hound give up chase. Well, I guess you guys got your way. I guess we're turning back, letting this hunt go unhunted.
It's for the best, man.
If you love something, you gotta let it go.
This isn't weird to you, though? This is bizarre. Come on.
You're right.
And on any other day, I would say we investigate.
So we're looking for something from an odd situation where these foreigners are here, threatening to burn down our villages, and now we ran into this. I think it could be connected.
You're right. I think we should have asked if the slave was a pig or not. I thought we assumed it was a human. You're right. Stupid us.
Shut up with your magic eagle.
Can we go to the next town, please?
Fine, let's go.
All right. So you guys managed to collect yourselves and get back on the trail to the nearest village. And it's not much longer through the woods until you manage to reach there. And it's, a humble little place, no more than about 5 roundhouses with a few outbuildings here and there, 5 families, 1 to each. And you're greeted by the folks who are just out and about in the daylight, just going about their chores. It's getting on towards evening now. Sun is getting low. You can smell dinner cooking on the fire and whatnot. One of the farmers who was just untethering an ox from a day's plowing raises up his hand to you and gives a polite greeting.
Hello. I was curious if we could either set up a tent in the town just for the night so we're all, safety in numbers, or if we could even stay in one of your houses.
A tent? Yeah, no, we'll not hear of you setting up a tent among our town. No, please, you need only ask. The law of hospitality is a big thing in this setting, actually. In place of having to worry about paying for inns and taverns and whatnot, the typical adventurer can usually expect to rely on the hospitality of strangers wherever they go in this setting. It's kind of seen as the highest virtue that a person could do is accept guests into their home. So you actually even have a little bit of jockeying and competition among the people of the farmstead to see who gets to serve you dinner and whatnot. You are actually, let's say, somewhat known in the area at this point as level 3 adventurers who are on the chieftain's business. We can assume maybe you've had an adventure or two around here before. You're all welcomed in, and by the time that sun is set down into evening, you're all set down within one of the houses on stools or woven straw mats on the floor around the fire, served wooden bowls of venison stew, given a warm meal, and they're asked your business. They say to you, so you mentioned earlier that you're here on the chieftain's business.
I feel like I'm talking a lot. Does anyone else want to?
You're the diplomat of the group.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're the talker. I'm more of the hunter, which failed, and now I'm all miserable.
Yeah, your charisma is so much higher than mine, Declan.
We're trying to save your village from being burnt down.
Yeah, I think I explained to him very plainly that there's a legion of foreigners here, military, set up on the beach. They're threatening to burn all our homes down if we don't return an eagle that was stolen by what they call a slave, but no, he's no slave on Ireland.
Oh. Huh. You actually have the woman of the house turn to the man of the house, and she says to him, "What do you know? That fellow was right. He was telling the truth this whole time." I told you.
What fellow?
They turn to you and answer, well, no more than 3 nights ago, we had another guest, a rather desperate fellow who had washed in on the beach not far from here. He had nothing with him but this huge, heavy bundle wrapped up in a cloth that he wouldn't let anyone touch. We gave him shelter for the night and gave him one of our cloaks to wrap up in. And before the morning had come, he was gone. He had ranted and raved about how he had brought down the wrath of the Roman Empire upon his people. By his accent, he sounded like he was a few clans over from here. Maybe a Leinster-man from the sound of him. But best as we could tell, he took off up into the hills that way. And he just kind of points off in a direction, though you're indoors, just out past the walls of the house. We hadn't thought anything more of it since then, but then, true as you say, these Romans, I suppose you call them, they show up with their boats and their fort. And now you say that that's all related to the fellow we took in. I wish we could be more help. Sorry,
that was actually extremely helpful.
Yeah, at least we know we're about 3 days out.
If I could impose on you for one more thing, where did this man sleep?
He just actually points over across the room, because these houses, they're all just kind of the typical prehistoric sort of layout or arrangement where it's all one room, though it is subdivided with these little like wicker partitions. And he points over to the other side of the house. A little private bed chamber has been blocked off by a big wicker partition. And he says, "Oh, we gave him the bed over there for the night. No one's been there since. We're all honestly been waiting for whatever bad luck he brought with him to air out of it."
Well, I think,
yeah, we're on the same page.
Go
have
for
my
it, buddy.
hound. Yep, gotta have my hound go and sniff out, see if we can get a scent on this man.
And sure enough, your hound goes over there, gets its nose into the straw of the mattress, and takes, just great big enthusiastic huffs, as a hunting dog might when it understands what its business is about. It would take off just into the night right now if you don't restrain it. It's an excitable hound. It would be just as easy to take off in the morning. Either way you would care to do it.
I say we leave now. He's already 3 days ahead of us. We have a scent. He's probably going to hide at night, so this is our best chance of keeping up.
I agree.
Do any of you have torches?
Valid question.
Let's see.
I can cast light. I guess it's a stupid question. I can cast light. We're good.
We're fine then.
I just wanted to rub it in your faces, you torches, fucking assholes. Yeah. And that's all for this week's episode. Sorry if the audio on this is a little weird. I'm recording this on vacation in my in-laws' bathroom. I mean, I'm not on vacation in the bathroom. That would be weird. Also, I have this awesome head cold. Woo! Anyway, tune in next Monday for the exciting conclusion to our Heroes of Tara actual play. It's got everything. It's got goat people. It's got mass combat. It's got an upsetting amount of Romans. It's a trip. If you want to hear more about Jake's amazing setting, check out last week's Hearthside Chat, where we took a pretty deep dive into the inspiration behind everything. Also, don't forget you can grab a copy of this game yourself on Kickstarter until August 1st, 2021. As of my recording this today, it's close to about 200% funded, and it's clearing some really great stretch goals. So let's keep it going. As always, check our show notes for the links to the Kickstarter, to the Heroes of Tara Discord, and all kinds of other good stuff. If you want to support the Pot of Blunders, please consider heading to our Patreon page, patreon.com/potofblunders, all one word. We've got membership levels ranging from $1 to $10 a month, which will get you access to things like our Discord, exclusive episodes of Jumping the Street Sharks, as well as a variety of other perks. You can also support the show and help us bring more attention to amazing indie authors by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate any help you can give. We love hearing from you. You can always find us on Twitter @potofblunders, and you can also reach us via email at potofblunders@gmail.com. Want more reviews, interviews, actual plays? Head to potofblunders.com and learn about even more amazing indie games. Thanks for listening. For the Pot of Blunders, I'm Nate Magnuski, and as always, may all your Ds be 12s.